Hi, everyone. This is a quick webinar on business transition. In particular, we want to take on an issue that sometimes can be a little painful, which is what happens when next generation isn't ready to lead. And this could be in a family-run business with multiple generations, but not necessarily. We've been engaged in businesses with interim execs where owners call us up. Could be a family in control, and it could be that next generation refers to trusted managers and leaders who are not literally kin. But the exact same issue applies in terms of what happens when there's going to be a transition. So let's dive in. This is a quick pep talk for owners and for their board members. I guess my dogs are also going to be helping this presentation out, even though they're not inside this room. All right, let's keep going. So who's going to take over? You know, a lot of different scenarios here. Here are just three major ones. You designated a successor. They're eager and ready to lead, so you're in pretty good shape. Scenario number two, you have some succession plans in place, some successors, but no one's actually literally ready to step into the role. In scenario three, yeah, not just ready for it yet. So let's dive in here. Are there any alarm bells going off? You know, is that successor ready to lead, or that succession team? Little background probably is in order as well. My name is Bob Jordan. I'm the CEO of Interim Execs. Interim Execs is one of the premier matchmakers around the world, where organizations that have a project-based leadership need call us. Project-based, sometimes called interim or fractional, and it's across the C-suite. If there's some kind of need, and we've deployed executives around the world into those kinds of engagements. So we'll start with option number one, which is the idea of a player coach to help mentor and prepare the successor, the next generation. This is becoming more and more common. And we like this idea of the metaphor of player coach because I think it's easy for everybody to understand, which is, you know, in sports, of course, there's the coach. And by definition, coach doesn't go out onto the field. But then there's also player coach. And yes, they do take the field as well. And this is true of a lot of interim and fractional executives now, which is you can name them into the role. You need someone as a divisional president. You don't have someone in that role. You need someone in COO role or the CFO role or CIO. And interim and fractional is an increasingly popular way to go about this. But it also happens, that one of their responsibilities is you've got to mentor and train the management team or whoever is designated that's going to be taking over at some point. Doesn't necessarily mean in the CEO or president role. Could be they're coming into a leadership position in operations or finance, marketing, social, whatever it is. But player coach is something good to think about. Second option is, you know, that you want someone to come in who's going to assess and identify. You're trying to find that right leader, that right person within that role. And they could be inside or outside of your company right now. And you want outside expertise coming in to help assess, and then could also be moving into some kind of mentoring role. Little endorsement here, if you will. An organization that came to us, Keating, it's a national, there's a national footprint, wealth managers, and the founder, Pat Keating, had done a marvelous job growing into many cities with a lot of wealth advisors on the team. And they hit a point where they needed more sophisticated financial resources, and that meant a fractional CFO. One of the reasons we're calling out Beth and Keating is because the Wall Street Journal featured us in a story on fractional executives. And so Beth was quoted, the CFO we put in was quoted. And, you know, this is the nature of the modern world. All these resources are now open to you that were not previously. You know, the old world model is you had to hire full-time employees, you know, other than you're a lawyer and your accountant. And that's no longer the case. You know, have all kinds of fractional and interim resources available to you. So quick commercial for us, which is that Interim Execs Red Team can help you. you can have a battle-tested fractional or interim executive come into a project-based role and help coach that next generation team, do mentoring, prepare them, get them ready for upcoming roles. We're happy to brainstorm with you on this. Here are just some final questions for you to consider, whether you've got that succession plan in place. That successor into the role, do they need any additional resources themselves? Would it help everybody to be more successful? Are there any structural issues getting in your way that we should brainstorm about? Any additional skills needed to smooth the way? We're happy to help. We have a question. If the transition to my children won't happen for the next few years, why would I hire an interim versus a permanent hire? Great question. You could be right in either case. Permanent hires, of course, are dedicated to your company, and that's a great solution. That has its own timeline and cadence. If you're going to go with headhunters, with a recruiter to go help you out with it, the thing I will say in favor of interim and fractional is it is right here and it's right now. And if you want somebody highly skilled who can step into this role and be of immediate help, this is what's now available to you. This has become its own career calling. And so there are now thousands of outstanding executives who have chosen to be project-based. They're not between permanent roles. This is what they love to do. And the wiring tends to be consistent. They were highly successful in a corporate or entrepreneurial career before, and this is what they now want to do. They want to be project-based. They want big challenge. They do not desire the corner office. They don't need to stick around for years to prove valuable to companies. So thank you very much, and we look forward to hearing from you. If you'd like to email us, redteam@interimexecs.com, or give us a call, 847-849-2800. Have a great day.